You say a lot of things that I just want to get right into them, and I forget about the first
Yeah, the
questions
first
that I
question.
asked. Yeah. So
Okay,
you
yeah.
talked about something about the way how Africa should develop.
Hmm.
You know, how do you think you should develop? What's your take?
Well, I think I'm going to like now mirror kind of some of the ideas from my NGO in Norway.
Yeah.
But that is also because I admire them. That's the reason I am here, and I go to their program because they have this approach where they measure development by human rights. It's not about capital. It's not about like how many what's it called? How many the infrastructure stuff like that. Of course, that is important, but really it matters. It's about which human rights are met. How are the humans living?
Yeah.
So it takes away the whole emphasis and the traditional approach of just going to a city and then
Yeah.
building a school and then you leave, because that's not going to do that much change. You have to actually know the culture. You have to get the context, and then from within, from the roots up. That's also another approach of theirs
Yeah.
that they the NGO I work with here. So it's their my Norwegian NGO has partners in different countries, and I'm a volunteer at their partner here. And that's NGO here in Tanzania is a grassroots national organization. So they focus on bringing up development from the bottoms up, because that is truly where change comes. You can't
Yeah.
change a
True.
system unless the people that are actually in it
Yeah. Yeah.
are aware and they know of their power. So that is, and then also I love how the Norwegian NGO has no Norwegians working here. Like in the office, it's all Tanzanian locals. And that is so important because
Yeah.
those are the people that know the culture. They know where they're needed. And just, I just love how that NGO respects and has like puts human dignity and solidarity really just far up. And I think that is how you develop a country, by giving the people the respect they deserve, and kind of telling them, you
Oh,
are able.
that's a bomb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. So you see why I love the NGO so
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
and I'm really just proud of being their ambassador. So this opportunity where I can speak and share their ideas, and just like this work that is doing so much important change, does bring so much important change. It is so good to share, because their vision is actually kind of funny, because it's to eradicate, or their vision is a world free of poverty. Like in itself, that's it. Like just that one line, a world free of poverty, and that's very vague. Kind of like you saw people be like, "How do you eradicate poverty? What does that even mean?" But that's the whole point. Like just because everyone thinks it's impossible, so it's just there. But then they've just put down, they've just sat down and said, okay, let's do this. It is possible to eradicate extreme poverty, which is the real issue, because you always have relative poverty.
Yeah.
But then now, okay, how do we give all the people in the world in the different areas the resources to actually develop themselves? So
Wow, that's just I'm trying to process, right? I'm trying to talk, but I'm like, dude, you gotta process it first.
yeah,
Yeah, it's so cool
it's a
because
lot of
like a lot of people are trying to come and trying to change Africa, impact lives and whatnot. I've never seen such a cool approach to have,
mm,
actually make a real impact.
mm.
You know, give the people the power and
Exactly,
yeah, yeah,
exactly.
let them decide because they're the ones who are living this
Mm,
experience. Yeah,
mm. And that's a lot of the. I think you see that from most. I mean, there are other NGOs too who kind of who do it well, or do it relatively, correctly, I guess, ethically. But it's so popular, like what you're saying, like to not give the people the power. Like it's
yeah,
so easy to, because I think to some extent, in when you're living in the West, I even experienced that myself when I'm living in Norway. Our knowledge is deemed the best. Like it's just that is the standard. We are supposed to be the standard for everything. And of course, I'm more aware of that because of my Ethiopian background. So I'll be like, like
I don't know.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, but this you could learn, this and this we can take some.
yeah,
Um, but a lot of them, there's just this mindset that the West way is the best way. Oh, that
yeah,
rhymes actually.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that's very poetic.
Thank
Should we
you.
get in your studio right now?
I actually do write poems sometimes. So
For
that
real?
yeah,
No
it's
way. It's just poems. Oh, like you also do spoken word.
I I've done like once, just like for this my school has exchange students from the south too that go to Norway, and one of them from Brazil, they were going to do an arts night at a school, and they asked me if I could read one of my poems and they could share it. So that's the only time I've like done publicly sharing like that, because it's still, I do it mostly for fun.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of power to it. And also, especially even with this like love for development and, like just Africa, whatever, humans, feminism, all
Yeah.
that, you can like give your message away so much easier by putting it into art,
Yeah.
because then you make people experience it, and you make it very like available. It's not just me like putting up all these fancy words and big words no one gets. It's actually making you feel what I'm feeling or what the oppressed people in the world are feeling. So that's kind of
Wow. Wow.